The church bells tolled like a death knell as I stood frozen in the bridal suite, staring at the phone screen that shattered my world. There, in vivid pixels, was my fiancée Elena, locked in a passionate embrace with my best friend Mark, in a hotel room we'd all shared secrets about just weeks ago. My hands trembled, the veil slipping from my fingers as rage and heartbreak collided in my chest, propelling me out the door without a backward glance. I didn't cry. Not yet. Instead, I drove aimlessly through the rain-slick streets of Chicago, the city's skyscrapers blurring into gray monoliths that mirrored the storm inside me. How could Elena do this? We'd built a life together, hidden from the judgmental eyes of our conservative families, whispering promises in the dead of night about a future where we could be open. But now it all felt like a cruel joke. I am Liliana Rossi, 25, a graphic designer who traded her dreams for stability, and Elena was supposed to be my anchor. Instead, she was my undoing. As the wipers slashed across the windshield, my mind raced through the memories. Our first kiss in college, stolen behind the library stacks. The way she'd laugh at my terrible puns. The nights we'd lie awake, debating whether to come out to her devout Catholic parents. I'd always been the cautious one, fearing the backlash, the disownment. Elena pushed me to be brave, but apparently, her bravery extended to betraying me with a man. Was it all a lie? Was I just an experiment to her? I pulled over at a dingy coffee shop on the outskirts, the kind with flickering neon signs and booths sticky from years of spilled syrup. Slumping into a seat, I ordered black coffee, letting the bitterness match my mood. My phone buzzed incessantly, texts from Elena from our friends, wondering where the bride had vanished to. I silenced it, staring into the steaming cup as if it held answers. What now? Run back and pretend? Or burn it all down? That's when she walked in. Juliette Moreau, Elena's cousin. The one person I'd sworn to hate forever. She was 26, a lawyer with a sharp tongue and sharper ambitions, always clashing with me at family gatherings. We'd argued over everything, from politics to pasta recipes, her smug smile grating on my nerves. But there she was, shaking rain from her sleek black bob, her red leather jacket clinging to her athletic frame like a second skin. She spotted me immediately, her deep brown eyes narrowing in surprise. Liliana? What the hell are you doing here? The wedding's in an hour. Her voice was laced with that familiar condescension, but there was a flicker of concern beneath it. I looked up, my voice cracking. There is no wedding. Elena. She's been sleeping with Mark. Juliette froze, then slid into the booth across from me without invitation. Mark? Your best friend? That bastard. She didn't question it, didn't defend Elena. Instead, she ordered 2 whiskeys, pushing one toward me. Drink. You look like you need it. I hesitated, but the burn down my throat was a welcome distraction. Why was I confiding in her, of all people? Juliette had always been the golden child in Elena's family. Out and proud since high school, unafraid of the world's scorn. She'd mocked me for hiding my relationship, calling me a coward. Yet here, in this moment of crisis, her presence felt oddly grounding. As the whiskey warmed my veins, I spilled it all. The photos I'd found on her phone, the lies about late nights at work, the growing distance. Juliette listened, her expression shifting from shock to quiet fury. Elena's always been selfish, she muttered. But this? This is low, even for her. Why do you care? I snapped, suddenly defensive. You've never liked me. She leaned back, a wry smile tugging at her lips. Maybe I don't, but family betrayal hits close to home. My parents disowned me when I came out. Elena was the only one who stood by me. Until now, I guess. Her vulnerability caught me off guard. For the first time, I saw beyond the rivalry. The pain she carried, the strength forged in isolation. We talked for hours, the coffee shop emptying around us as the rain pounded relentlessly. She shared stories of her own heartbreaks, of lovers who'd left her for normal lives, of the constant fight against societal whispers that labeled her choices as wrong. By the time we left, the storm had eased, but mine raged on. Juliette offered me a ride back to my apartment, her hand brushing mine as she shifted gears. It was innocent yet electric, a spark I hadn't felt in months. What was I doing? This was Elena's cousin, my sworn enemy. But in that car, with the city lights streaking by, I wondered if enmity could flip to something more. Back home, I collapsed onto the couch, Juliet lingering in the doorway. "You don't have to face this alone," she said softly. "Call me if you need to talk." I nodded, watching her leave, my mind a whirlwind. Had I just opened a door to forbidden territory? The thought terrified me, but beneath it lurked a dangerous curiosity. Elena's betrayal had shattered my world. Could Juliet help rebuild it? Or would she destroy what was left? The next morning my phone exploded with calls. Elena's voice messages pleaded for forgiveness, claiming it was a mistake, a moment of confusion. My parents, oblivious to the truth, demanded explanations for the cancelled wedding. I ignored them all, my thoughts fixated on Juliet. Why had her touch lingered in my memory? Was it revenge or something real? I met her again that evening at a quiet bar downtown. She was waiting, her white tank top hugging her curves under the jacket, exuding that effortless allure. We drank, we argued, as always, but this time the barbs felt charged with unspoken tension. "You're better than her," Juliet said, her eyes locking on mine. "You deserve someone who fights for you." Her words pierced my defenses. For years I'd suppressed my desires, conforming to expectations. But Elena's affair had exposed the cracks. Was I ready to embrace who I truly was, even if it meant crossing lines? As the night wore on, our conversation deepened. Juliet confessed her own struggles, the pressure from her firm to tone down her identity, the loneliness of being the outspoken one. I shared my fears of family rejection, the Catholic guilt that had kept me closeted. For the first time I felt seen, not as Elena's partner but as Liliana. When we parted, her hug lingered too long, her breath warm against my ear. "Don't let her break you," she whispered. Alone in bed that night I replayed the moment, my heart pounding. This was madness. Juliet was family to Elena, off limits. Yet the pull was undeniable. Had betrayal opened my eyes to a truth I'd ignored? Or was I just seeking solace in the wrong arms? Days blurred into a haze of avoidance. I called in sick to work, holed up in my apartment, dissecting every moment with Elena. How had I missed the signs? The late texts, the excuses. My mind looped endlessly. Was I not enough? Too feminine, too reserved? Then a knock at the door. Juliet, with takeout and a determined expression. "You can't hide forever," she said, pushing past me. We ate in silence at first. Then the words tumbled out. I raged about Elena's deception, the societal double standards that made her affair with a man somehow acceptable in our family's eyes. Juliet nodded, her own anger mirroring mine. "Society wants us to fit their mold," she said. "But we don't have to." Her hand covered mine, a gesture of comfort that ignited fire. I pulled away, confused. "This is wrong. You're her cousin." "Is it?" she challenged. "Elena's the one who broke vows. What do we owe her?" The question hung heavy. In that moment I saw the moral gray. Loyalty versus self-preservation. Revenge versus genuine connection. I chose to lean in, our foreheads touching, breaths mingling. No kiss, just proximity that promised more. As she left, I knew I'd crossed a threshold. The game had changed and I was playing with fire. The weeks following the wedding that never was were a battlefield of emotions. Elena bombarded me with apologies, showing up at my door with tears and promises. "It was a mistake, Lily," she'd sob, using the nickname that now twisted like a knife. "I was scared of committing fully. But I love you." Love? The word tasted like ash. I'd given her everything, my trust, my future. And she traded it for a fling that reinforced every stereotype our community whispered about bisexual women. Was it internalized homophobia? Or just plain selfishness? I slammed the door in her face, but the doubt lingered. Had I driven her away by being too cautious? Juliet became my unexpected lifeline. We met clandestinely, in parks and cafes far from familiar eyes. Each encounter peeled back layers of our rivalry. I learned she envied my normal life, the one I'd hidden behind. "You've got it easy," she admitted one afternoon, as we walked along Lake Michigan's shore. "No one suspects you. I wear my identity like a badge, and it costs me promotions, friends." Her vulnerability cracked my armor. I'd always seen her as arrogant, but now I recognized the armor she wore against a world that judged her harshly. Our conversations delved into the heart of our struggles, the pressure from families who prayed for our salvation, the friends who distanced themselves, the internal voice questioning if love like ours was valid. One evening at her sleek downtown loft, tension simmered. We'd argued about coming out, me insisting on privacy, her pushing for authenticity. Hiding eats you alive, she said, pacing the room, her bob swinging with each step. And outing yourself invites hate, I countered, my voice rising. Look at what happened to you, disowned at 18. She stopped, eyes flashing. At least I'm free. The word hung between us, charged. In a rush, I closed the distance, our lips meeting in a kiss born of frustration and longing. It was brief, tentative, but it unleashed a flood. We pulled apart, breathless, the air thick with unspoken questions. Was this betrayal? Or liberation? Guilt crashed over me immediately. Elena was family to her. What were we doing? This can't happen, I whispered, backing away. Juliet's expression hardened. Why? Because society says so? Or because you're scared? Both, I thought, but said nothing. I fled her apartment, the city lights mocking my turmoil. That night, alone, I wrestled with my conscience. Kissing Juliet felt right in a way Elena's touches hadn't in months. But the moral quandary gnawed. Was I no better than Elena, seeking comfort in forbidden arms? The next day, Elena confronted me at work, her eyes red-rimmed. I know about Juliet, she hissed in the lobby. My own cousin? How could you? Shock rooted me. How did she know? A mutual friend, perhaps. You cheated first, I shot back, voice low but fierce. It was a mistake. But this is revenge. Her words stung because they held truth. Was my attraction to Juliet genuine or a weapon? The argument escalated, drawing stares from colleagues. I stormed out, heart pounding. In the parking lot, I called Juliet. Elena knows. Good, she replied coolly. Let her stew. But it wasn't good. The fallout rippled. Elena's parents called, accusing me of corrupting their family. My own mother, sensing something amiss, pressed for details. What really happened, Lily? Elena says you're unstable. Unstable? The label ignited fury. I'd spent years stable, hiding, conforming. Now, embracing my truth felt like instability. The irony burned. Juliet and I met that night in a secluded bar, the dim lights casting shadows on our faces. We need to stop, I said, though my heart protested. She leaned in, her hand on my knee under the table. Or we fight for this. Her touch sent shivers. Fight? Against family, society, our own doubts? The decision loomed, a precipice. As days passed, the pressure mounted. Elena spread rumors in our social circle, painting me as the villain. Friends sided, some with her, others withdrawing. Isolation crept in, amplifying my inner turmoil. Was love worth this chaos? Juliet pushed back, organizing a secret getaway to a cabin in Wisconsin. We need space to think, she said. The drive was tense, silence broken by sporadic arguments. At the cabin, surrounded by woods, we confronted the elephant. Our growing feelings. I hated you because you had what I wanted, Juliet confessed by the fire. A quiet life with Elena. But now I see you're trapped too. Her words resonated. I'd envied her freedom, her unapologetic self. That night we talked until dawn, sharing dreams deferred by fear. No more kisses, just raw honesty that bonded us deeper. Returning to Chicago, reality hit. Elena waited at my apartment, flanked by her aunt, Juliet's mother. This ends now, Elena declared. You're tearing the family apart. Juliet's mother glared. Juliet, how could you? After everything. The confrontation exploded. Accusations flew. Betrayal, immorality, selfishness. I stood silent, watching Juliet defend us. Love isn't a choice, she argued. And it's not yours to judge. Her mother's slap echoed. You're dead to me again. Juliet recoiled, tears streaming. In that moment I saw the cost. Another disownment, another fracture. Guilt overwhelmed me. Had I caused this? We left together, but the damage lingered. In bed that night, Juliet whispered. Was it worth it? I didn't answer, my mind racing. The moral lines blurred. Right and wrong tangled in desire and pain. The scandal spread. At work, whispers followed me. The homewrecker. My boss suggested time off, his tone pitying. Society's judgment weighed heavy, reinforcing every doubt. Was our love deviant as they implied? Juliet faced worse. Clients dropping her, her firm questioning her stability. "This is the price," she said bitterly over coffee. "For being out." Her resilience inspired but terrified. Could I pay it? A turning point came at a family dinner my parents insisted on. Oblivious to the full truth, they probed. "Elena's heartbroken. What happened?" I hesitated, then spilled. "My sexuality, the affair, Juliet." Silence descended, then explosion. My father stormed out, my mother cried. "How could you choose this path?" Choose. The word ignited rebellion. "It's who I am." Disowned? Not yet, but the rift gaped. Alone later, I questioned. Was authenticity freedom or folly? Juliet comforted me, her embrace an anchor. "We'll face it together." But doubt crept. Was together enough against the world? The months dragged on like a prolonged sentence, each day a test of resolve. Juliet and I navigated our budding relationship in secrecy, stolen moments amid the wreckage. But secrecy bred paranoia. Every glance from strangers felt accusatory. Every call from family a potential ambush. Elena's revenge escalated. She outed us on social media. A scathing post detailing the affair that garnered hundreds of comments. Some supportive, most vicious. Homewreckers. Sinners. Disgusting. The words seared, amplifying my inner voice. "You're wrong for this." Society's echo chamber reinforced the shame I'd internalized from years of Catholic schooling. Juliet bore it with defiance, posting counters about love's validity. "They can't define us," she'd say, her brown eyes fierce. But privately, cracks showed. Late nights she'd stare at the ceiling, whispering, "Is this what I fought for? More hate." Her doubt mirrored mine. I'd lost friends, my job teetering on rumors. My parents' calls dwindled to silence, their disapproval a gaping wound. Was love worth exile? A pivotal clash came at a LGBTQ support group Juliet dragged me to. Surrounded by stories of triumph and tragedy, I felt exposed. During sharing, I admitted, "I fell for my ex's cousin after betrayal. Am I the villain?" Responses varied. Empathy from some, judgment from others. "Sounds like rebound," one said. "Moral gray area," another noted. The debate raged in my mind. Moral? Whose morals? Society's heteronormative script, or our heart's truth? Post-meeting, Juliet and I argued fiercely in the car. "You regret us," she accused. "No. I regret the pain." "Pain is part of it," she snapped. "If you're not all in, walk away." Her ultimatum hung heavy. All in meant public, unapologetic. But I wasn't ready, fear of total loss paralyzed me. Days later, Elena ambushed us at a cafe. "You two deserve each other," she sneered. "Thieves of happiness." Juliet stood, voice steady. "You stole first, Elena. Own it." Elena's slap landed on Juliet's cheek, drawing blood.
Chaos en Suède, shoot, intervention.
As we left, Elena yelled, "You'll pay." The threat chilled. Pay how? Legal? Emotional? That night, Juliet broke. "She was my family," she sobbed in my arms. "Now nothing." Holding her, I realized the depth of sacrifice. Juliet had lost more. Her cousin, her mother again. Guilt gnawed. Was I worth it? I confronted my own family next, driving to their suburban home. My mother opened the door, face etched with worry. "Lily, please. Come back to God." "God made me this way," I replied, echoing Juliet's words. My father joined, stern. "It's a choice. A sinful one." Argument erupted. Years of repression boiling over. I left in tears, disowned implicitly. The drive back, I questioned everything. Was choice the enemy or society's lens? Juliet waited, her embrace soothing. "We're our own family now." But isolation bred tension. Small fights escalated. Her pushing for marriage, me hesitating. After Elena, how can I trust? I'd say, "Trust me," she'd plead. Doubt festered. A secret. I met Elena alone, seeking closure. "Why Mark?" I asked. "I was confused," she admitted. "Scared of forever with a woman." Her honesty hurt but clarified. Her betrayal stemmed from her own conflicts, not my failings. Returning to Juliet, guilt weighed. Should I confess the meeting? Transparency versus protection. I chose silence, but it poisoned us. Juliet sensed distance, accusing. You're pulling away.
I'm scared, I confessed partially.
Our first major break came after a gala where Juliet introduced me as her partner. Whispers followed, a client snubbing her. Blame flew. You push too hard. You hide too much. She stormed out, leaving me alone with regrets. Was this the end? Reconciliation came via text. Meet me at the lake. There under stars we talked raw. I love you, she said. But love demands courage. Her words pierced. Courage. I'd lacked it with Elena hiding us. Now repeating. I love you too, I replied, kissing her fiercely. Commitment solidified, but at what cost? External pressures mounted. Juliet's firm demoted her, citing distractions. Discrimination veiled as policy. She fought legally, but stress eroded her. I supported, but my own job loss followed. Restructuring, they said, but timing suspicious. Unemployed, we leaned on each other, but resentment simmered. If not for this, we'd be fine, I'd think. A betrayal from within. A friend leaked private messages, fueling online hate. Death threats arrived, forcing us to move. In the new apartment, paranoia ruled. Is this worth it? Juliet asked one night. The question echoed my fears. Worth the isolation, the financial ruin? Yet, in quiet moments, her touch reminded. Yes, for authenticity. But awakening came slow. At a protest for LGBTQ rights, we marched, chants empowering. Strangers' stories mirrored ours, fostering solidarity. Post-protest, energized, we planned forward. Therapy, community building. But Elena struck again, suing for emotional distress. Absurd but draining. Court days were hell. Testimonies exposing intimacies. Elena painted us as predators, we countered with truth. The judge dismissed, but damage done. Media frenzy labeled us scandalous lovers. Post-trial exhausted, we questioned perseverance. In bed, Juliet whispered, do we keep fighting? My heart said yes, but mind wavered. The moral dilemma. Persist in love or yield to peace. The lawsuit's aftermath left scars deeper than anticipated. Juliet withdrew, her once vibrant spirit dimmed by endless scrutiny. She'd stare at her phone, reading hate comments, murmuring, maybe they're right. Maybe we're cursed. Her words alarmed me. No, I'd insist, pulling her close. Society's wrong, not us. But doubt infiltrated. Nights I'd lie awake replaying choices. Leaving Elena, kissing Juliet, going public. Each a domino in this chaos. Was the first betrayal justification for my actions? Or had I perpetuated a cycle of hurt? Therapy helped unpack. Our counselor, a kind woman in her 50s, probed. What does love mean to you? To me, stability, to Juliet, freedom. Clash inevitable. Sessions revealed my internalized shame. Years of hearing it's a phase from family media. Juliet's upbringing, though harsh, forged resilience I envied. Progress slow but bonds strengthened. We volunteered at shelters, aiding queer youth. Seeing our struggles in them motivated. Yet, family rifts persisted. My sister's call. Mom's sick. She wants to see you, but alone. Alone? Without Juliet? The ultimatum tore. Visit meant denying us. Refuse, risk regret. I chose visit, explaining to Juliet. It's temporary. Her eyes betrayed hurt. Hiding again? Guilt followed me to the hospital. Mom frail whispered. I pray for you daily. Pray for acceptance, I replied softly. Tears flowed. Partial reconciliation. But returning, Juliet's distance grew. You chose them over us. No. Balance. Argument escalated to ultimatum. Commit fully or let go. Pressure cracked me. I need time. She left, slamming the door. Alone, panic surged. Had I lost her? Days of silence. I reflected. Love required sacrifice, but how much? My identity or family? Reaching out, I found her at our old cafe. I'm sorry, I said. I'm all in. Reunion passionate but fragile. We moved forward cautiously. Society's backlash continued. Job hunts rejected subtly. Not a fit. Frustration boiled. Juliet suggested relocating to San Francisco. More accepting. Idea tempted fresh start, away from Chicago's ghosts. But roots tugged. What about fighting here? Survival first, she countered. Debate raged, exposing fears.
Mine, abandonment.
Hers, stagnation. Decision loomed as Elena reappeared, apologetic. I was wrong. Forgive me. Her plea stirred old feelings, nostalgia, not love. No, I said. I've moved on. Her tears. With her? It's incestuous. Cousins aren't incest, I snapped. And love isn't your business. Closure? Partially. But her words lingered. Incestuous? Society's taboo amplified doubt. Sharing with Juliet, she raged. She's manipulating. True, but seed planted. A high came at pride. Marching hand in hand, surrounded by allies. Empowerment surged. This is us, Juliet beamed. Post-pride, intimacy deepened, emotional, not physical. We dreamed. Marriage, kids. But low followed. Vandalism at our car, slurs painted. Fear gripped. Is it safe? Juliet's resolve. We make it safe. Her strength inspired, but exhaustion mounted. Turning point, my father's call. I miss you. Let's talk. Meeting neutral. Coffee shop. He admitted. I don't understand, but you're my daughter. Tears, hugs. Progress. Sharing with Juliet. Joy mixed with caution. Don't get hopes up. But hope bloomed. Family mending possible? Juliet's mother reached out too. Tentative email. Can we meet? Excitement but suspicion. Trap? Meeting tense. Accusations revisited. But ended with, I love you despite. Despite? Conditional but start. Healing began but slowly. Amid this career breakthroughs, I freelanced successfully. Juliet switched firms, thriving. Stability returned but past haunted.